you guys, I'm here again already to do another video. I just did a video last week, and I normally won't do videos so close together, but I had an idea for a theme, and I also had a urgent, I guess you could say, from a friend to go ahead and do another video. And like I've explained to you guys before, when I do my videos, I always, you know, I'm not going to say they're scripted or anything like that, because my channel isn't even of that magnitude, but I do try to put together, you know, a theme. I try to get my facts straight. I try to put some work in my videos, and one of my major steps in preparing for my videos is meditation. I always meditate beforehand. I meditate as I'm trying to come up with the theme. I meditate, as I'm working on the theme, and I always meditate right before I sit down to actually record my video. And I've said this before, but a lot of times things don't always go as I plan. And what I mean by that is sometimes the direction I think I need to go in is not the direction that the goddess wants me to go in. And I love my goddess, and I try as hard as I can to obey my goddess. And I've told you guys this before, but I suggest you do the same, because the goddess is of love, and she's of light, and she only wants to see us happy. She only wants to see us in a place of enlightenment, of peace. She wishes us nothing negative whatsoever. Don't get me wrong, she can be vengeful. She can get upset. She can be fierce. She can be a force to be reckoned with. But she is a mother, most of all. She is a sister. She is a mentor. She is, she wants us to follow in her footsteps. She wishes us well. And that's why I always tell you guys to please try to obey your goddess. And, don't think about it. Don't become afraid. Don't try to figure it out. Just do it, because I promise you, she's only going to lead you into the light. She's only going to take you by the hand and bring you somewhere where you're going to find happiness, where you're going to find knowledge. It's never going to be a bad place that she brings you to. And with that being said, back to my discussion about picking a theme. I was thinking about doing a discussion on, being a beginner witch, when you're first learning the craft, when you first step foot on your path. And, with anything that you do in life, you have to learn. And I've gotten some questions recently, and, I try to answer them the best I can. But then I started thinking maybe I could do a video themed, learning or beginning out on the craft. But as I sat down to meditate on this video, I got a whole different idea that popped in my head, and I know it was the goddess. And that idea was, overcoming fear. And I know there's a reason behind it. It could be meant for me. It could be meant for one of you. It could be meant for all of us. I just know that that is what the goddess pushed me in the direction to speak about. So that's what we're going to speak about. And I'm gonna cleanse our space, but I'm not going to use a smudge or an incense. I'm not going to use a spray. I'm simply going to use this selenite wand, and this is the one I call my fatty because he's a little bigger than the rest, but he has a point. And with any type of crystal, any type of stone, any type of tool or instrument that you may be using in magic, if it has a point, that point is to direct your energy. Like, for instance, simply if I want to send energy to you guys, I would point the point in your direction because that is where the energy is going to flow from, is from this point. So I'm going to use it, because of the point, but I'm also going to use it as a, what I call a comb, and I'm simply going to comb through our space, comb through your aura, and by doing this, I'm simply combing away any negativity. And just as is, when you're combing your hair in the morning before bed, if you have any tangles or what we call knots, you're going to comb them out. And that's what we're doing with the selenite wand. We're just combing out the negativity. We're just going to comb it away. We're going to clear our space. We're going to clear our aura. And just like being in a barber shop, once we do this and we comb all this negativity out of our aura, out of our space, it's going to go somewhere, right? And just like being in the barber shop or the salon and you're getting your hair combed and trimmed, it's going to fall to the floor. So I simply say, let's use our candle for more than setting our intention. Let's use our candle, element of fire, to destroy this negativity that we've just combed out of our space, out of our aura. Let's gather it all up. And of course, this is symbolically. Let's gather it all up. And we're going to drop it down into our candle and let the flame, let the element of fire do away with any negativity that we may have combed out of our space, out of our aura. And now we're going to simply set our intention, and this is just a soy candle, and it's one that I've made myself, and I call them my intention candles because that's what they are. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but I've got some cloves in there, some rose petals, and I'm not even going to try to give you guys a lesson on herbs because you know what the cloves are for and you know what the rose petals are for. So let's just look at the flame and set our intention. And our intention simply is that we will find the knowledge, we will find the strength, and we will be brave in our pursuit to overcome fear. And this we're not trying to do. This we are doing, and so it shall be. I'm going to set our candle right here beside us, and I'm going to go ahead and get into the discussion. And as always, I brought a few crystals. I even brought a little oil. It's simply some oil that I made, and as you guys know, I really am big on homemade and handmade tools and ingredients. But if you're not, crafty, which you don't have to be, it's all your intention, it's all your love, it's all your energy, and you're just simply pulling it from within, from your heart. But it's simply a base oil that I used, and then I added some essential oil, some rose petal essential oil, and I'm going to use that to anoint my crystals and myself, but I'm simply just going to rub it in the palm of my hands. And there's no right way, there's no wrong way. You do things the way you find them to work for you. Whatever feels right for you, that is the right way. So I'm simply placing the oil in the palms of my hands, and right here I have my little jar of crystals, and I'm going to pour them out in my hand, and I'm simply going to rub them in the oil to anoint them. And what I'm anointing them for is because the intention of love is in the oil that I made. And also, everything that we discuss, everything that we do here on this channel, I always want to bless it with love and with light. And that's simply what I'm doing with my crystals now. I'm anointing them in love and light. And the reason I chose these few crystals is because they all have great properties that help us to overcome fear. And the first crystal that I brought is yellow calcite, and of course it's a good stone to help you overcome fear. I'm going to place it right here. And then I have a piece of rose quartz, pink rose quartz, and of course it has the properties to enhance love of yourself, love of others. And loving yourself is important in anything you do, so I had to include that. I'm going to lay it right there. And this is like a smile palm stone, but this is a piece of sodalite, and it also helps to overcome fear. It's also a good stone for poets, for writers, for people that tend to do their works in the later hours of the night. This stone is a good stone for those that have a good heart but tend to, seek it in the dark. Doesn't mean they're negative or bad or evil. It just means that, they're more comfortable in the dark. And I find myself, like that a lot of times, and there's nothing wrong with that. And lastly, I've included a simple piece of quartz, because quartz, as you know, it magnifies any crystal or any intention that you're setting or any type of work that you're doing. This quartz will magnify it, will make it, give it that added extra boost. And I had to include that because I feel that we need that extra boost, because we're talking about overcoming fear. And I just want to start by saying, fear is nothing but an emotion. It's an emotion that we create. And yes, we can see things that scare us. We can see, images that scare us. And we can watch movies and we can hear scary stories. And we can think about losing loved ones. And all of these things, that cause us to feel fear. These are things that we are choosing to see in a fearful eye. And of course, I know it's easier said than done, that you can't just, say, okay, for instance, my son passed away, and I never ever thought that I would experience that type of pain. And, each and every day, I would speak out to the goddess, and I would ask her to protect my children, to protect my loved ones. And of course, the reason I was doing this is out of love, the mother's love, but I was doing it out of fear. the fear of losing them and the fear of, something happening to them. And, that's part of being human. Of course, we're going to experience fear. We can't, literally do away with it completely. Yes, we're witches. Yes, we do spell work. Yes, we believe in magic. But the magic that we work is from the heart. The magic that we work is manifesting our intentions, our desires, our wants, our needs. And no, there's no such thing as clicking your fingers like on TV and poof, making something or someone appear or disappear. I mean, it's just, it doesn't work that way. You guys know this. We're not kids. But magic is real. And if you believe in something wholeheartedly, it will exist. And that includes fear. If you believe in something to the point that you can see it, that you can think about it, that you dream about it, that you can literally see the images in your mind, you can hear those, you know, voices, you can hear those noises, you can literally make yourself see these things, feel these things, you're manifesting it. And that is what I'm trying to get to is, that is our magic. We can manifest through our beliefs, through our thoughts. And as much as I wish we would only think good thoughts and manifest positive things, we don't. And, we may not do this intentionally because, believe me, there is unintentional manifestation. And that's when we worry. That's when we think about things that, we should just kind of let go. And of course, I'm one to talk because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have struggled with depression most of my life. I've had a very traumatic childhood. I've experienced mental abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse. And I'm not trying to dig up the past, but in shadow work, that's literally what we are doing is, bringing up the past. We have to talk about it. We can't let it sit and fester and just grow bigger and bigger and bigger until it pops one day, because then the results are going to be very messy. But, and I'm not trying to, go into shadow work. Maybe that can be our next video, but I just wanted to add that because it is key in shadow work, and it does relate to what we're talking about now, and that's overcoming fear. But with our magic is the belief. Our magic is manifesting. Our magic is believing in ourselves, believing in others. And of course, we want to believe in positive and, happy and love and, just all those feel good vibes. And, of course, and there's nothing wrong with that, but being logical, being realistic, we can't always do that. We can try harder, we can aim higher, and that's what we should do, but we can't. We're human, we are emotional creatures, and the thing about that is our emotions hold so much energy. Our emotions have more energy than any other trait that we have. You would think that, seeing something, touching something, tasting something, smelling something, hearing something, you would think those traits would be the most powerful traits of, you know, manifesting energy. And they are important and they will help you to manifest that energy, but they're not the most important. I'm telling you, in your craft, in your life, your heart, that one beating muscle in your chest. Your heart holds all the power. Your heart is key in anything and everything. And that's where all these emotions stem from, is the heart. And when we learn to control our emotions, we learn to overcome fear. And like I've said, with any theme that we talk about, with any type of thing that we're trying to learn to do or to overcome, I know it is easier said than done. And, I'm one to give advice because, I struggle day to day. I struggle to keep it all together, to keep it all in check. And then now I'm experiencing this thing in my life that has just like, turned my life upside down. But yet I can still sit here and I can smile. Don't get me wrong, there's days when I can't crack a smile. There's days when the tears will not stop flowing. But I'm learning to be stronger, and I'm trusting in my goddess, and I'm finding that love for myself all over again. And in doing so, it helps me to believe that I can do anything, that I can overcome this fear. I may not do it in a minute or an hour or a day or a week or a month. It may take years, but the thing about it is just knowing that it can be done, and I'm working to do it, and I'm gonna do it. And when you stay positive, and when you put your trust in the goddess. And another thing that I think is very important is talking. And of course, I love to talk, but I'm not saying, get on social media and just put all of your problems out there for the whole wide world to see, because everyone isn't your friend, and everyone isn't positive. Find that one person that you can trust. Find that boyfriend, that girlfriend, husband, wife, best friend, brother, sister. Find that one person that you can trust and you can talk to, and do that. Talk. Because just like I said earlier, when you are trying to overcome fear, when you're trying to overcome any negative thing in your life, if you just let it sit and fester, 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 it's eventually gonna, and once that happens, the only thing left to do is clean up the mess. And, how are you going to clean up a mess when you can't even control, what is going on that caused that mess? That's just creating a bigger issue. So, why let it get to that point? Talk about it, trust in the goddess, always, always stay humble, have gratitude, believe in yourself, love yourself, and just know that you can and you will overcome fear, because we're not going to let fear control us. We are bigger than fear. We are going to control it, because at the end of the day, we're in control of us. We are the drivers of this vehicle, and whether we drive fast, whether we drive slow, it's entirely up to us. It's for us to choose. And in deciding how to handle it, all I can tell you guys is follow your heart. And I wish I had more time, because there's so much more to cover, but I don't. And I hope something I said resonated with someone out there. Don't forget, like and subscribe. And as always, much love. Remember, if you believe, you will receive. Bye, you guys.